This week, we focus on linebacker Kevin Fouquier. The sophomore who prepped at Como High grew up around the sport of football, the son of a coach. His first football memory takes him back to Ruston, Louisiana, when his dad was on the coaching staff for Louisiana Tech. But he wasn't chasing footballs, he was chasing critters.
My first memory would have to be was when my dad was actually coaching our upcoming opponent, Louisiana Tech. I was about 6 years old. He brought me up to the offices, and I really couldn't do nothing but, be a pest. So he would send me out to go catch crickets. For some reason, they had a lot of crickets out there by the offices. That's what he would send me to do. 6 years later, though, when I was older, back when he was at Middle Tennessee, he would, instead of sending me to catch crickets, he would send me to the weight room and go work out and practice my craft and stuff like that.
So at 12 years old, when his dad was on the staff at Middle Tennessee, Kevin Fouquier found himself lifting weights in a college football regimen. Well, maybe not quite that intense.
I wouldn't say college football because I'd go in there at 12 and there would be basketball girls, softball girls with more weight on the bar than me. So I would try to get in there before them at the time because I was so embarrassed. But quickly I tried to model my workout after what I saw the football guys doing, only a lot lesser weight.
While Kevin Fouquier learned a lot from his father, a college coach, but as he explains it, his dad knew exactly how hands-on and hands-off to be with his son.
I think my dad handled it the way all coaches of sons should handle it. He would, by far, whoever my coach was, whatever my coach said goes. My dad might have known better because he was a college coach, but he was definitely one to, look, this is how I teach my guys, but if your coach tells you to do it that way, that's how you do it. But we really didn't get into that aspect of it too much. He was more of, listen, I'm going to show you the blueprint of how to get where you want to be. I'm not going to really coach you on the ins and outs of it, but I'm going to give you all the things you need to know to get there. And it's your job to learn the ins and outs. I'm not going to hold your hand through it. If you want my help, I would have to seek him. As far as him being hands-on, he was really, look, if this is what you want to do, yeah, I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you the way, but you got to put in the work. I'm not going to push you for nothing.
While Kevin Fouquier's dad gave him the tools to try to accomplish his dream in football, as an impressionable 8th grader, Fouquier's dream was to be the next Tim Tebow.
Back then in 8th grade, that's back when Tim Tebow was a up-and-coming star as a quarterback. I loved his mentality at the quarterback position. He wasn't scared. He was a tough runner. He was a tough player. He was my role model. And so back in 8th grade, I thought I was going to be the next Tim Tebow, But it turns out that for some reason I always ended up on the defense side of the ball, whether it would be situational stuff where the defense needed me.
While his dad was the coach on Ricky Bussel's staff at UL, Kevin Fouquier began his high school career with the Como Spartans. And while he wanted to play quarterback so he could try to become the next Tim Tebow, there was a Ragin Cajun catcher who was playing quarterback at the time for Como, meaning Kevin Fouquier found himself back at defense.
And once I got to high school, Mike Strentz was our quarterback my sophomore year, and I had to go start on that safety on defense. And so defense always played a big part in my career today. It is my career.
And while defense is his position now, he did switch back and forth while at Como High, including his junior year when he pursued his dream and played quarterback.
My junior year, I took over the duties at quarterback for Strengths. Had a great year, but recruiters really saw me as a defensive player. They liked my athleticism on offense, but only like 2 colleges really offered me at quarterback. But a lot of the major offers and bigger offers were on defense at linebacker. So kind of made the decision to switch my focus to defense. And I would, instead of playing quarterback, helping out on defense, I was defense, helping out on offense whenever they needed me my senior year.
Now started an inside linebacker, Fouquier thinks playing both quarterback and defense in high school helped him get to where he is today.
Definitely gave me the experience of getting everybody lined up. Because at quarterback, you got to know what everybody does. Same thing at middle linebacker. You got to know what everybody does. You can't just focus in on you because it's not just about you. You got to get everybody else lined up. And that's one thing that at quarterback really helped me at middle linebacker.
After redshirting his true freshman year, Fouquier was penciled in as the starter at linebacker his redshirt freshman year. But as the dust settled, he found himself on the outside looking in.
The grind of last year, that was a tough year for me. I came in to camp as a starter, had some knee problems, kind of got lost in the shuffle, I guess you could say. It was a really, really tough season for me last year. I was kind of doubted the grind after the season. I was like, man, I can't have another season like that. I refuse to watch my team from the sidelines. And so I really had a renewed source of energy coming into this offseason.
With that new perspective, Kevin Fouquier continued to grind. But the grind didn't just start after a tough redshirt freshman year and went all the way back to when his father had him working in the weight room.
The grind really started, like I said, when I was 12 years old. And everything that I worked for, everything that I put in, really, it was all worth it for Saturday, the funnest night of my life. The grind, I'll do it over again, and I will continue to do it for the next few years to chase that feeling, that high that you get playing in front of your hometown family and friends on Saturdays in the swamp, Cajun field.
Now started at inside linebacker as a sophomore, Fouquier and his teammates have one defensive goal in mind.
Defensively, as a defensive unit, I want to be the best in the conference. I want to be number one, bar none to nobody.
That's your player profile segment brought to you by FM Bank.